up around 20,000.
Warren Ryan is the coach. Tahu moves from the wing into the centres to partner Hughes. Lenny Becker, a start for him in the 18 jersey. And you see there Sean Rudder in the number 17 jersey coming in to replace the injured Denny Badiris. So a big day for Rudder to live up to Badiris' form. And Andrew Johns, 5 games, 4 try assists, 2 line breaks, plenty of offloads. Hasn't been doing as much tackling as Laurie Daly. 13 per game. That's still quite a few, though, Gary Freeman, for a halfback. And Steve Clark is the referee. The video referee is Chris Ward. And first touch for Laurie Daly. He hands it straight off to Anthony Brand. And the halves is where a lot of damage is going to be done today.
It certainly is, and Andrew Johns is the man that will control things for the Newcastle Knights, especially in their kicking game and general organising. Just watch them to stand nice and wide and let the ball have plenty of air against this Canberra side, who play a very short line of defence.
Well, they're not messing around. The kick coming in from McFadden, but he picks up Robbie O'Davis, and O'Davis returns the football. 8 from halfway. Paul Harrigan is with us. Speaking of Robbie O'Davis, a bit of a war of words in the newspapers anyway between O'Davis and Mullins. So they've got a point to prove today.
Yeah, certainly is. That's going to be a great battle. Mullins in terrific form and really looking for a New South Wales jumper, and Robbie O'Davis just coming back from injury, also looking for a Queensland jumper there. That kick just went astray, but it's unfortunate, but should be a great battle, that's for sure, Greg.
Yeah, that's a rare mistake from a penalty. Newcastle not finding touch. Went into touch in goal. So a bit of a let-off there for the Raiders.
Well, Newcastle will get the ball back anyway. It will be a 20-metre line drop. Laurie Daly will take that and get his side back underway. It took a couple extra metres to get the ball a little bit higher in the air at the same time.
Good strong run from Fairley first up. 12 or 13 metres inside Canberra territory. Ben Kennedy, what a day for him, up against his old teammates.
Yeah, you talk about interesting battles. This one is a great one. He's been injured all week and he's come back for this game, really keen, and I'd say he'll have one of the best games he's had in a long time, even with an injury.
Davis plays it back. Now this is Shields. He's been the top offloader for Newcastle.
I think he's really gone through the first opening 5, and here's a penalty for laying on top of the player.
And Stephen Clark is very hot on this. I noticed last week in the match he controlled between the Bulldogs and Parramatta, his first 5 penalties were awarded for holding down. He likes to clean up the ruck area very early on, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Anthony Brand just holding on just a fraction too long. So pushing it back there by Rudder. Give him an evil eye. Don't do that again. Just let the referee take control of this game.
So great opportunity early on here for some points for Andrew Johns. 63% so far this season. The flags are up. The scoreboard ticks over for the first time, and it's Newcastle, the Knights, leading the Canberra Raiders by 2 points to 0.
I'll tell you what, 63% is probably a little bit below par for Andrew Johns, but if you saw that kick, he didn't muck around. He only took 2-3 paces back, straight into it and kicked it over. So I think the confidence is going all right. Very quick kick, that's indeed.
Ferner getting set for the restart. Davis. Other times you see the ball catch, you look for a forward to complete the return of the football, but on that occasion Davis was more than keen to take them on. Fairley on the 30. The captain now, Butterfield. Rudder, Matthew Johns. Billy Peaton out wide, across to Darren Albert. 5 tries for Albert. 5 tries also for his teammate Tamana Tahu. Playing in the centres today. They worked the short side. With Canberra were well aware of what was going on over there. They didn't panic, and Vanacola was able to push them into touch.
Matthew Johns getting out of dummy half area very, very quickly, but I still think that Brandon Costin was offside. He didn't manage to get back that 10 metres. Could have easily been penalised then.
As I was saying before, Greg, about the heat here and completions, little things like that are going to add up. 2 times our Newcastle Knights are kicked out, but the kick wasn't successful in that little play there. Let's just hope that that doesn't take anything away from later in the game.
Oh, Vainikolo standing at 5'8" from that scrum. Daly to Furner. A familiar step off the right foot, and he can't find a way through. Walford, McFadden, and now Croker out wide. Taken, good ball and all tackle from Tahu, just inside the Knights' territory. Costin. Walford waiting for it. McFadden, Daly, nudging it down into the corner. Davis picks it up, in goal. Good chase by Canberra. Daly the first one there. Also helping out was Anthony Swan. Mark Hughes to play it to the short side. They work it. 18. It's Lenny Beckett. Fairley, he's been in good form since making the switch to the Knights.
Yeah, he has been in good form, but I'll tell you what, the other thing is that they're really putting pressure on Laurie Daly now as they go nice and wide here with Tahu taking the ball to the line. Great inside ball. Matthew Johns.
Well, underneath they just managed to hang on. It was Kalala.
A short on that right side.
Kennedy. Albert kicking back infield. Mullins takes it on the full, a couple of metres in the field of play. And they wrap him up 15 out from his own line.
Gary, I've heard you say a couple of times how Canberra's defence is so compressed. It looks like the Newcastle Knights are really going to take him on the edges and have a go at him just to test that compression.
The other thing too there, Paul, is that the two halves will race out of the line to try and nullify the kicker, and that leaves them really short on the edges. As Furner makes a half bust here.
Yeah, he got through the tackle of Peden. You don't see that too often. A couple of metres from halfway to the short side, and this time it's Wolford. And Davis perfectly positioned. Returning the football, Wolford and also McFadden complete the tackle. 35 metres out from the Knights line. They lead by 2 points to 0, Newcastle. Butterfield now. 7 or 8 metres from halfway. Shields. That is the halfway mark. Right up. Johns, Andrew Johns showing it outside inside. Then he had to take the tackle of Wolford. Kennedy from dummy half. Daly. The crowd thought he was offside, but he was the marker. They go to the air through Andrew Johns, kicking for Albert's wing. Was Albert taken out? No, it's play on. Vainikolo will play it 10 metres out from his own line.
Well, Albert was looking to the lines, and then what about a penalty that should have been against Costin there for taking him out of the play? He couldn't even get near the ball as Vainikolo now takes it forward.
I think he was lucky because I think Darren Albert is actually a metre offside, so it probably worked out well for him.
Furner, 15 from halfway, taken by his opposite number, Kennedy. Kalala. Taken by the two big men, Fairley and also Butterfield. McFadden. This time they kick it away from Davis, and in a touch, half a metre from the corner post. Great touch finder there by McFadden.
It's good work by the halfback, just go to the line. I'll tell you what, Ben Kennedy looked very, very tight in that centre six. We're struggling to get to the scrum there. He's just grabbing a drink of water now. As Corvo will lift his team up, get going forward. Andrew Johns, of course, will feed the scrum. And look at them to go straight at Daly once again.
Just an interesting thing with the Canberra's kicks. You can tell already they're targeting Lenny Beckett. That's 2 kicks in a row straight to him. Here he goes now for a great little run. Offload.
Andrew Johns. Out to Tahu. Trying to get on the outside of Vainikolo, who's opposite number. He can't do it. That's the 30-metre mark. Sloppy pass from dummy half, but Andrew Johns was there to clean up for the Knights. Rudder. They continue to favour that short side. And why not when you've got Darren Albert on the outside? 16 is on there. This is Steve Simpson. 10 metres inside Canberra territory. Fairley stepping, taking them on, almost to the 30. Final tackle coming up. Andrew Johns gives it plenty of air. Kicking for Rod Jensen, and Jensen puts it down. It's lying loose, and Mullins has some work to do. He'll have the pace to get back into the field of play. Claim there by Lenny Beckett.
I'll tell you what, Mullins has hurt his right knee. He clutched at it straight away. He's not a well-manned. Mullins down on the ground there, you can see. Straight away when someone went to make that tackle, he went straight for that right knee. Just watch this here, Greg Clark. The ball's dropped by Jensen. Beautifully covered up there by Mullins. He gets out of the field of play. Tremendous work there. I think it's just when his legs spread apart there, he hurt his knee.
Well, in back play, he's made it to the sideline. And coming on is Mark McLinden. Final tackle coming up in this set of 6, and Daly, under a bit of pressure, had to hurry the pass. He couldn't get the kick in, so eventually went to Costin. And Davis takes it on the run. Gives it out to Beckett. Beckett back in field away from one. Good run, Lenny Beckett. Bit of a pirouette there, and he's going to have to play it now about 31 metres out. Applause for Lenny Beckett.
See what, he's made the most of his opportunities. He's had 3 or 4 touches, and as I said before, with the kicking game, they're going to test him all day. So far, so good for Lenny Beckett.
Fairly now. Good field position here for the Newcastle Knights. A good, strong run. They lead by 2. Rudder gives it to Johns. Andrew Johns dummying, taking them on. Taken by his opposite number, McFadden, and also in there was Kalala. He's only 1 metre out now.
Well, Canberra offside by a mile.
Absolute mile.
Penalty.
Laurie Daly, never onside. No, mate.
So he's got Laurie Daly for being one of the players offside. I don't think they can argue with that penalty.
Well, it's a bit hot down there. He's probably looking for a little bit of a head start there, Laurie, but just got caught. You can tell the Newcastle Knights' intensity has really picked up, and even that where that tackle where Lenny Beckett did on Mullins and he hurt his knee, the kick chase by Newcastle was great, but just the class of Mullins to get out there before was fantastic. But Knights now to take the kick. 2 points.
You've got to look for it. That's what the rule. Choose the touch the real. Hey? No, when it clears the ruck. When it clears the ruck. That's how it's been for 2 seasons. No, when it clears that heel.
So just a bit of a lesson with the rules on the run for Laurie Daly, as Andrew Johns adds the extra 2. Meninga, Big Mel won't be too happy with that start. They're behind on the score sheet 4-0, 12th minute. 2 penalty goals to Andrew Johns. Davis gives it to Matt Parsons. Fresh legs off the interchange bench. He's out there for David Fairley. Davis very keen to get involved in the match early on, Paul Harrigan. And here's another great run from Lenny Beckett, cutting back infield, looking for the support. Got it back to Davis that started the movement. Run out the back door. Andrew Johns. Oh, we saw some great athleticism there from Andrew Johns. Even tried to pick it up with his heels.
Yeah, it wasn't going to work that time, but once again, Lenny Beckett had a great start to this match. On that left-hand side, they'll certainly have to start looking after him. Some of the Raiders get some repairs on this right-hand side.
McLinden trying to get on the outside of his man. And this is about the best field position we've seen for Canberra. And the penalty for holding down in the tackle, so this will give them a real opportunity to mount some pressure on Newcastle for the first time. They find touch over on the far side. 20 metres out now. The Raiders through Justin Morgan. Mark Corvo. Lack of communication there. There's still plenty of tackles up their sleeves. McFadden across now to Croker. Croker reaching out, and Croker will score the try. The Raiders with the first 4-pointer of the match and the first real attacking opportunity deep inside the Knights' territory. And Jason Croker has come up with the try.
He's come up with a great try at that. This is exactly what the Canberra Raiders did need. Warren Ryan now looking out, saying give me some information here. Quick play the ball. The penalty's been given. Wouldn't let him up. Matthew Johns. And then they just go out to the left-hand side, and they were gone for all numbers. As you can see, Tahu just holding back, but he cuts back at the angle, which is great. Billy Peden comes up with a miss. And that tackle should have been made there. Like we said, Croker very, very strong that close to the try line.
92 tries in his career, Jason Croker. Very underestimated player. He's been a great player for the Raiders through the 90s. At 9 or 10 metres in from the far touch. Struck it well, very well indeed. The flags are up. The radar is working immediately for Furner, so the Raiders lead by 6-4.
And it's just a nice pass there for McFadden and Croker. Look at it, genuine strength. He scored 90 tries or over 90 tries in his career. An underrated player. And I think the tackle there, Billy Peden be a little bit disappointed, but I tell you, that close to the line, Jason Croker's just too hard to stop, and a good try.
Daly gives it off to Mark Corvo. He got away from one tackle of Parsons.
Pull it back to me, Billy. Go, mate.
McLinden. Back to Jason Burnham. They put it through the hands. Costin. Justin Morgan. That's the halfway mark. McFadden got it over the top of Darren Albert and into touch. A good touch finder.
McFadden there seemed to change his mind at the last minute. He was going to kick to the right-hand side of the field and all of a sudden kick to the left. He had no real chasers. So a bit of not much communication there. You can see he was kind of lining up at the last minute. He's kicked the left-hand side and left himself open. Lucky it was a good kick. They've got the scrum.
Scrum 18 metres out for the Knights line. Davis. Taken by Croker, and Mullins is back out there, so the right knee is okay. Troy Fletcher in 19 for the Knights. And a late call to come into the 17. Glenn Grief. Matty Johns turning it back on the inside. That's the halfway mark. Simpson plays it. Matthew Johns again. Picks up 10 metres. Final tackle. And Andrew Johns goes to the air again. McLinden is back there. Takes it 1 metre out from the goalpost. Almost through the gap.
This is where Andrew Johns, I think, we might start running on that last tackle. Burnham come through to make the tackle on him then. Referee said play on.
Newcastle, 52% of the possession so far. Nothing in that stat. Furner. Taken by Parsons and also Andrew Johns. McFadden. Davis picks it up, 15 out from his own line. Makes it to the 30 before the chasers arrive. Just one try in it so far. It's the Raiders by 2. Albert. Parsons. Running at Laurie Daly.
Interesting to note with Canberra, they're actually playing Brett Mullins up in the centre on the right-hand side.
Yeah, McLinden is back at fullback. Kennedy can't get away from good tackle around the bootlaces by Croker. Andrew Johns. He's kicking for Rod Jensen again. He's put one down in goal, but not this time. Takes it.
Andrew Johns will be happy with that ball, actually. Well, that's a penalty straight away. Andrew McFadden was offside by around about half a metre. Simon Wolford looking at his halfback saying he should have got back here in time.
Sorry, mate. Couldn't I was yelling out.
The referee saying,
Back
sorry,
10,
mate.
Simon, back to the line, mate. Back to the line, boys. Simon. Anthony, Laurie.
The referee just sending the Raiders back 10 metres. And Johns to equal it. Yeah, it's all locked up. 6-all, 3 penalty goals to Andrew Johns, a converted try to the Raiders. And, of course, a rare mistake by the Raiders. Oh, rare mistake by Robbie O'Davis. He just took his eyes off the ball.
Well, Robbie, he'll be disappointed with that. You can tell straight away he put his head down. But have a look at this. That is, I tell you, he practices those things every day at training. Never misses them. It's a rarity. He's the type of player, he's probably a little bit of a confidence player, so he'll need to get involved very soon and have a good run or do something good to get him back on track.
The last time the Raiders were in this position, they were able to punish the Knights for a mistake. And Daly will play it now, 10 metres out from the line, 6 apiece at Marathon. And Wolford, dummy to the inside runner, took the tackle. Corvo, McFadden showing it. That's a forward pass to Atkins. They've been called back.
Anyway.
Dropped it over the line anyway, the call from Stephen Clark, the referee. Just didn't time the run, did he, Atkins?
Plenty of pressure on him. Of course, Hughes coming in there to make the tackle. Oh, Harpe really trying to make up that last mistake.
Outside leg up. Outside leg up.
Outside leg up, so I can't put it in the second row.
Beckett, he's been a real handful so far. In from the left wing. Brief. 25 metres out from the Knights line. Rudder, an acting half, scoops it up with the one hand. Penalty. They're inside the 10 again. Andrew Johns. The crowd thought there was a high shot in there. Shields. Taken by Burnham. Also Kalala.
I think what Newcastle have to do too, instead of going too wide on the Canberra side, play them down their short sides.
Matthew Johns. This one player out, gave it to Hughes. He was claimed immediately, but got the pass away to Beckett. Now to Butterfield, across field. Butterfield still going, dummying. The captain looked on the inside. He needed a runner on his left hip. It wasn't there, but it's still there for the Knights. Wide they go, Albert untouched. Great try, Newcastle. Their first 4-pointer. And they're in front 10 points to 6.
Well, it's good football, isn't it? Andrew Johns, the man who was at the dummy half area just then. Albert, of course, is the man who scores the try. But just watch Johns. This is when they made the break down this left-hand side. The penalty's given. A quick tap taken there. That's where Andrew Johns drew on a nice long ball there. Vanakola, he was marking nobody.
Yeah, just see Rudder here, a beautiful ball. Vanakola in the middle of nowhere. The Canberra Raiders really come up in the line very quickly, and that time got caught. They didn't sort of steady and have a look at what was going on. And Darren Albert scored his 6th try for the year, so he'll be pretty happy. But yeah, that offensive ploy on the line has got to be looked at, because you find yourself in a little bit of trouble when players can do a face ball on you. You've got to make a decision in a quick period of time. Vanakola struggled there a little bit.
Johns 10 metres in from the far touch. That's the angle and the distance for him. Hasn't missed one so far today. They've all been at close range though. Not a bad attempt, but this time it's around across the face of the uprights out to the left. But 10 points to 6. It's Newcastle over Canberra, 25th minute.
That's where Andrew Johns did all the work there. He really drew the dummy half player. And you'll see Wilford comes back and he'll look at his mates out there on the left-hand side. He's just out of camera shot now, but he's saying to him, go up and start sliding on that man there, and that problem wouldn't have occurred.
Well, Albert now has scored 6 tries, so he's the leader in 2000. First 4 or 5 rounds, the players were actually getting a drinks break around the 20-minute mark in each half. And I think on a day like today, they could do with one as well. Very hot and steamy in Newcastle.
Robbie O takes that beautifully.
He gets a cheer from the crowd too.
Fairly plays it.
I just want to know why big Paul Harrigan had his hands up there to catch the ball.
30 metres out from the line. Peden has missed a couple of tackles in the match so far, Billy. Johns spotted the gap. Tried to get the right arm free to offload. Brian held on. Matthew Johns missed out 2. Picked up Hughes. Hughes trying to get on the outside of Jensen's. He does well to stay in the field of play. 30 metres out from the line. They're playing with some confidence. This time it's Davis with the kick, and I'll put the mocker on him. Nothing confident about that kick. A shocker. Even Robbie will admit to that, I'm sure.
Well, the funny part about this kick here, he was supposed to be kicking that over to the right-hand winger, and it's gone into the back row, and that gentleman there catching the ball has been one very happy man.
Well, hopefully it's not one of those days for Robbie. As I said before, I've seen him take plenty of catches before when he dropped it, and I've seen him do plenty of kicks and have been successful, so come on, Rob.
We all know he's better than that. The try scorer for the Raiders, that's Croker, 9 from halfway. Wolford, short pass, got the way to Atkins, inside the Knights' territory now. Daly involving himself, bringing Costin back on the angle run. Costin almost got away from Tahu. Daly, plenty of time, kicking for Lenny Beckett's wing. Anthony Swan running through, but Beckett takes it, and Swan claims him immediately in goal. So the Raiders will get it back from the goal line dropout.
Tell you what, the kid did very well, though, didn't he, Lenny Beckett? There's Laurie Daly putting it right across there. No one really put any pressure on. He had a quick look to see where he was. He caught the ball, got down low. Swan does a good job also for the Canberra Raiders. Give them now the end goal.
Former Auckland Warrior, Anthony Swan. Played a test for New Zealand as well.
Two young bloke I want to give a rap. There's young David Atkins. He's only 21 for the Canberra team. He's a Canberra junior, and I think he's got a big future. Good style of a guy, hits a good line.
They're playing in the number 8 jersey today. This is the number 10, Anthony Brand. That's the 30-metre mark. Wolford. This is Atkins now. Good determined run. He couldn't pierce the gap there. Daly, switch of play, turns it back to McLinden. McLinden gives it to David Furner. Furner elects to take the tackle. Mullins, dummy half. McFadden to Brand. Brand wrapped up ball and all, Butterfield and Fairley. McFadden, Daly. Costin, an overlap, Vayner-Colo, slam dunks the ball down, and so they have hit back, although he wants to go to the video referee, Chris Ward, first of all.
The ball. Thank you.
Vayner-Colo reached out. Did he get it down before he took the corner flag? That's what the video referee is going to check.
That's a good decision here by the referee. He's not too sure whether he did or he didn't. But you can see his legs actually out, but did it touch the ground? Now, two things you're looking at is the corner post, and did his foot touch the field of play, outside the field of play, before he planted the ball down?
Well, I'll tell you what, the video referee will have to have a real close look at this one. We're splitting hairs here. You can just see, look, he reaches out his right hand to get the ball down. Now his foot touches. I tell you what, it looks like he just may have got the ball down, and a split second later his foot's touched the outside.
He was lucky that Albert's leg was underneath his.
You need it the other end. This is the end. I think you'll be able to see whether, I think it is his left foot just there. You can just see it going out there now. Let's in. Does the ball go down?
I think it's a try. From that angle, the feet were off the ground when he planted it down.
Well,
I tell you what, that's as close as you get to a dead heat that you'll get maybe a ref's call, and interesting to see what he'll do there.
Well, that looks okay to me. Just.
that is so close. You see them do a frame by frame.
Oh, the board's up the hill.
Canberra are pretty confident they're sitting back.
Try time. Touch and go, but that's what the video referee is there for. Splitting hairs on that occasion, but Vainikolo gets the 4-pointer.
Just where he goes, Laurie Daly gets men running around inside there. Tahu gets caught up. They should have stayed on the right-hand side. He's left with 2 men to tackle. And Albert got up the right decision, but Vainikolo just stayed in the field in the nick of time.
You can just see the Newcastle Knight defence is a little bit compressed. Albert's tucked back, so he's got to try and get Vainikolo on the side, and he's just too strong. He's only 20 years of age. He's already played a test for his country. And he was the schoolboy sprint champion. He's got plenty of pace, plenty of strength, and what a future he's got.
David Furner, 65% career percentage, 70% so far this year from out wide. It's waved away. So we're locked up at 10-all. No, we'll be a bit happier. 30th minute, nothing in it here.
Just watch Laurie Daly going to the line. You see a man who come on the inside. That's who held up Tahu. And again, Croker's the man out there running the extra man. And made it very. And here's a mistake by Canberra. It's play on.
Oh, they got away with it somehow.
Well, that was miraculous by Laurie Daly.
Swan, taken by Kennedy. McLinden gives it to Atkins. Have a look at the restart here. So Laurie Daly allowing it to bounce, and somehow it just managed to get it back in the field of play. 28 from their own line. Furner. Final tackle coming up. Daly's in position for the kick. No pressure on him. I've seen him gain more distance than that on the final tackle. Albert got it away to O'Davis. Stepping. He's taken by Daly and also in there McLinden. Big Dave Fairley. Runner. Johns. Andrew Johns across to Tahu. Good tackle underneath Costin. Over the top. Croker. Andrew Johns. Matthew Johns. Stepping, taking them on, almost through, looking, almost begging for a runner. Johns, Andrew running to the line. Kicked it straight into one of the Canberra players. So it wasn't played at, so it's the final tackle. And Matthew Johns comes in. Kicking across. And it's taken, no, it's put down. Good pressure by Lenny Beckett. For a moment, it looked like Rod Jensen took it AFL style, fingertips. But he couldn't hold on.
I just wonder if Lenny Beckett's got his hand in there, put pressure on. Of course, the catcher, Rod Jensen, as Matthew Johns putting the ball across. He's in the air. And was Lenny Beckett actually going for the ball? You see Laurie Daly there pointing to say, well, hey, he's in the air and he shouldn't be able to try to go make the tackle. That could easily been a penalty, Paul Harrigan.
Yeah, it could have been a bit either way, but what a legacy Lenny Beckett's given his side. That extra effort he put in that kick chase and put the ball back in a great position here.
Inside the final 10 minutes of the first half here at Marathon. You can see they're all locked up at 10-all. And good field position here for the Newcastle Knights. 22 metres out. Great position to mount this attack. And here's the captain, Butterfield, charging into them. Centrefield options either side. They work it to the right through Matthew Johns. He takes them on. Can't find a way through, though. Sean Rudder waiting for it at dummy half. Rudder in there for Badiris, who didn't start the match. And here's a great charge coming up from the Knights.
Steve Simpson. Yeah.
Simpson in 16. But the Canberra Raiders defence holding for the moment. Rudder. Andrew Johns kicking across field again for Jenkins. It's been stolen. Stolen by the Knights. Mark Hughes. Well, they're going to go to the video referee.
Can you just check a number of things? I want to check onside. I want to check grounding of the ball. That's it.
Was he onside? Did he ground the ball? Well, it was a perfect kick in the end from Andrew Johns for Mark Hughes.
Well, Mark Hughes looks very, very confident. And the kick, it was more like a banana kick, wasn't it? The ball goes in behind, he stands still, he puts the ball across. Hughes is onside, he's on the left-hand side, he's number 4. Goes up nice and high, Laurie Daly waiting, and does he ground the ball just there? And this is going to be able to tell us. Laurie Daly having his hand underneath there, talking to the referee. Well, I think at this shot here, Greg Clark, that is going to be a try.
Looks all right to me.
Yeah, it's grounded in
downward pressure.
Yeah, the chest and the arm, that should be fine.
Well, they're obviously targeting Jensen, aren't they? 3 or 4 kicks going across to Rod Jensen's wing. Just one last look at this.
Well, I think that what they're worried about is Laurie Daly's hand is trying to pull the ball out, but I think it was still going down in his hand, and Hughes to score that try.
Try, the green light is there for Mark Hughes. So now all of a sudden it's the Newcastle Knights back in front. Topsy-turvy affair, this one. They're taking it in turns to lead.
Yeah, they are, aren't they? But great kick once again. This is the area I was saying that Lenny Beckett was making the tackle on Jensen, and I'm pretty sure that should have been a penalty. It wasn't. It was a dropout, and then that's when the Newcastle Knights got the ball back for an extra set of 6 and come up with a try.
Ten metres in from this, the broadcast touchline at Marathon for Andrew Johns. It is kicking. The flags are up. The flags are flying. 16 points to 10. The Knights are on top.
As you can see, the Andrew Johns, nice banana kick, and good chase there from Hughes and Lenny Beckett, but as they just go up, great bit of strength there from Hughes, and he gets the ball down. And I'll tell you, even though the kick was successful there, the Knights could have easily passed that ball out and got some money as well. The Canberra defence line was all over the place there.
34th minute. Robbie Davis is drying the hands. We're waiting for the restart from David Furner. Davis. Parsons. And into Corvo. He's over the top, and underneath it was Morgan. Beckett to the short side. Lenny Beckett, only his 7th first grade start. Playing with a lot of maturity out there. Troy Fletcher. Grief. Taken by Swan. Johns gives it to Parsons. To Matthew Johns. Simpson. Simpson standing. Offloading back to Matthew Johns. To Albert. Forced to come back on the inside, away from one. Albert can't get away from Croker. Costed in there as well. Johns. And they're allowed to bounce. And... oh, the heart was in the mouth for a while there. Well, Jensen watched it go across.
Well, he's been put under a lot of pressure, but he maintained his composure. Just said, oh, I better get my foot over there, because last Monday night I didn't manage to do that.
That was one!
The Newcastle side playing down the right-hand side, the short side of Canberra all the time. They're just not numbering up. Oh, That is a very good hit there by the halfback and Andrew Johns on Justin Morgan. And that hurt him.
Kalala taken by Simpson and also Parsons, 10 from halfway. McLinden, McFadden, or the other way around. Daly, well, he's left it behind. Daly thinks it went backwards. He's looking for some support from somewhere. He's not going to get it. The call's been made.
Well, the Laurie Daly was actually travelling forward. The ball went through his hands and went backwards.
You ran over it, which gave it the impression to look back, and I thought you ran over the top of it.
Well, there you go. Looked like it was an impression that it went forward because he ran over it.
I think more often than not, as we see Daly packing into the second row, more often than not.
Well, they've got to need another player, otherwise they're going to have 8 backs.
So long as there's not 14 out there. Tahu. And so often than not, when you see a ball drop, the referee's usually going to pack a scrum down.
Just have a look at this here on Justin Morgan. Andrew Johns hit him straight under the ribs, and wouldn't be 2 seconds after that, the trainer's come out and he's come off the field. So that was a massive hit from Joe Johns.
Well, here's a turnover here by the Newcastle Knights. They're in very good field position. 2.5 minutes on the clock. It's giving Canberra an opportunity to work it downfield and get out of their danger zone. McFadden plays it back to Vainikolo. The Knights,
Right to me.
too enthusiastic on that occasion. Well up inside the 10, and Daly wants a quick tap to Mullins. And Mullins taken there by Rudder. Penalty. Rudder had a hand on the ball.
Get your hand out of it. Get your hand out of it.
Well, this is really going to give Canberra a great opportunity to have the last say in this first half.
Well, he's not mucking around to play the balls, I'll tell you now. He's been real tough, and he's been pretty good on both sides so far.
And they don't find touch. Well, a let off for the Knights as Albert fires it across to the opposite side. Over the top they go. Hughes showing it on the inside. Chased by Jensen. Hughes did well to stay in the field of play. That's the halfway mark. Matthew Johns wants to keep it going. Looked to offload, but he was ridden to the ground by Swan. And there's a little knock on in there.
He was a little bit unlucky there, Matthew Johns. He saw that they were very short on that blind side once again. And that's where the ball comes loose. A little bit upset. Anthony Swan, of course, putting the hands out, going, hey, I didn't have anything to do with that ball coming out then.
Make sure you bind it. Lock second rowers in.
This time Daly's going to pack down in the lock position. McFadden gives it to Costin. McLinden out in the centres. Over the 40 goes McLinden, chased by Tahu, and also in there was Matthew Johns. Costin to the halfway, gives it to Brand. Brand shaped to pass, elected to take the tackle. Walford. Good easy meters by the Canberra side. McFadden. Oh, Furner took the eyes off the ball and tossed it up.
And Laurie Daly was going to be on the outside of Dave Furner. There was a massive hole that Daly went streaming through. He turns the ball back, and so you see Laurie there on the left-hand side. Everyone to move across in the Newcastle defence.
Shields, Andrew Johns, taken by Daly, and a couple of other raiders in there to lend a hand. Furner and also Walford. That's the half-time siren here at Marathon. Entertaining first half here. Tit for tat, really. The lead has changed on a number of occasions.
Guys going through and pick up the outside runners.
The kick-off from Furner. The take by O'Davis. He gives it straight away to his captain, Butterfield. To Paul Harrigan, who've been in that Newcastle Knights dressing room on many occasions, leading by 6 at half-time. What do you think the message would have been from Warren Ryan?
Warren would be pretty happy. The only thing I could see that he'd be worried about is defensively Newcastle. Every time Canberra's been on their try line, they've scored a try. And particularly down the edge where Darren Albert and young Tamana Tahu's been, It's been a little bit fragile, so he'll want that fixed up. And basically just keep the completions up, keep it going. And as you can see now, the sun's starting to come out here with the sloppy play there for Newcastle, unfortunately. But the sun's coming out.
You can't
and the
come
heat's
forward off the foot. It was an accident, so we're having to scrum down.
the off the foot, but the heat is a real factor.
So we're 5 from halfway. That's where the scrum will pack down.
Wait.
Daly takes the tackle. 9 metres inside Newcastle territory. Mullins and now Costin to the short side. Costin taken by Peden and also Tahu. Atkins. It's a real flat pass then. He just lost a little bit of his momentum. Wolford. McFadden, Daly and Furner standing out in the centres.
Just a little bit too flat in the Canberra side.
Kalala. A little pocket battleship. 20 out from the line. Final tackle. And Brand pops it out the back door. Well, Brand just tried to do too much on that occasion. Took one step too many. And they wrapped him up, ball and all. The only other option was to release. And so a wasted opportunity there to put a bit of pressure on the final tackle.
Yeah, the big front right didn't know that he was going to be first receiver then. Had to make the decision to let the ball go just a fraction earlier.
Rudder gives it across to Peter Shields. They've done well to wrap Big Peter up. Fairley. 5 from halfway. Final tackle, Andrew Johns. McFadden came out to put some pressure on the kicker. Mullins, bit of space at the back, but the chase is a good one. He fires it out to Jensen. Well, a knock on there.
Gary, I was just going to ask you about Mullins. He's been a little bit quiet. Of course, he's had that injury. He's found his way back into the fullback position, but has been missing a little bit.
Yeah, he just went to run across the field. He expected Jensen to go on the outside of his player. He didn't. He decided to come back on the inside. Lack of communication there between the two players, the fullback and the winger. And Brett Mullins certainly will not be happy with that.
It's a big play for Newcastle. They're right on the attacking position now.
So important to score first up in the second half. 16-10 the lead at the moment for the Knights, and O'Davis showing it. Taken there by his opposite number, Mullins. Also Costin. Tahu moves into acting half and gives it to Billy Peden. Peden nowhere to go. Can't find a hole through that green defence. To the short side, Johns. Tahu. The tackle had to be made. It was a good one from Costin. Matthew Johns. Fairley. Andrew Johns. Butterfield can't get away from Daly. Popped it back through the back door, and there was a Canberra Raider there to pick it up in David Furner. So a let off there for the Green Machine. Here's Brand can't get away from Matty Johns.
Well, this is when they're looking very good. I thought Big Butts thought he was going to score a try, flicked out the back. He thought he might have some backup from his halfback there, and of course Andrew Johns and Furner come up with the ball. Luckily for Canberra, as Vaitakolo makes a good busting run.
Almost through the gap, 30 metres out from his own line. Furner, bit of a roll on here. The Raiders up towards halfway. Wolford, the kick is not a good one. It's play on. The referee Stephen Clark says that was played at by a Newcastle Knight, so the tackle count restarts. Anthony Swan, 40 metres out from the Knights line to this left-hand side. They continue to work now. The switch back on the inside. McFadden looked to offload. There wasn't anyone close by. Now it's Daly. Daly to Brand. Brand can't get away from Kennedy underneath and Peden over the top. Daly switching it, dummying Daly. Final tackle coming up. McFadden moves into first receiver. McFadden goes to the air for Mullins. Mullins leaping, but Albert comes away with it. He catches it on the full. In goal, so we'll come back to the 24, a restart.
And look how quick that restart is. Ben Kennedy going forward makes an easy 11 metres.
Great appealing for the penalty, saying the Green Machine defenders work back 10. But it's play on, and Shields will play at 10 from halfway. So they've made 20 metres in 2 tackles. Butterfield back to Rudder and Shields. And Matthew Johns, straight ahead he goes, almost to halfway. Davis waiting for it. Fairley. 10 metres inside Canberra territory. Matthew Johns.
Watch Andrew Johns to run this on the last tackle.
Kicking it straight into Colella. He didn't play at the ball.
Newcastle, hand over, boys.
Oh, they played the knock on by Newcastle.
And Sean Rudder bounced out of dummy half, went down the right-hand side, and I'll tell you what, his teammates on the left-hand side weren't too happy. He wanted the ball, Andrew Johns, and when he wants it, he should get it.
McLinden gave it to Costin. Costin, 5 from halfway. It's a shocking pass from dummy half, and it's gone forward.
Well, Brendan Costin just getting treatment down there. I think he's been stunned there from a knockout. It's a pretty heavy collision there, and he looks in all sorts of trouble. They pull him off the field now and give him a rest. And McLinden's gone on the field in his replacement.
There he is, down nice and low. I think the play comes over the top to Mana Tahu. Maybe accidentally his knee hit him in the head.
Keep it in, Loz. Down.
Johns to Hughes. Hughes taken by Swan. And they're inside Canberra territory as Costin receives some attention on the sideline. Rudder moves into dummy half. Andrew Johns, the inside pass, Fairley pops it over to Peden. Peden taken by McLinden. Johns, the brothers, and the double round, and now Hughes, Tahu. Hughes from dummy half. Johns, wide pass. They've got some numbers. Well, did he get it down? Short. Lenny Beckett. Well, there's the try anyway.
Warning.
Well, he wants to go to the video referee.
Warning.
It's all happening over in the far corner.
Mate, wait, let me talk. Mate, I want to just check that there wasn't an illegality by the Newcastle bloke that played the ball, pushing the Canberra guy out of the way, and then just check the grounding of the ball and the corner post, etc. That's what we're checking.
So Laurie Daly went over there. Laurie Daly went over there straight away and said one of his Canberra players were pushed out of the way. And that's why he went straight in. You can see his hands going like this to the referee, and the referee said, listen, go away. Let me get this organised. He's going to check for the pushing. And then 2, did he get the ball down? Lenny Beckett goes very, very close here in scoring. Oh, he must be centimetres away. Quick play of the ball. Well, I'll tell you what, the man who pushed down the rope was Laurie Daly. And I think that will be a try.
Robbie certainly celebrating there, but Lenny Beckett done a terrific job to get this close. He got down low to the ground, drove hard as he could, stayed in the field of play. Now he's got up, played the ball as quick as he could. Laurie Daly is the marker. He's pushed Lenny backwards, and that's a clear try there for Robbie Davis. And like you say, Wiz, if anyone should be complaining, it should be the Knights. Loz are there a little bit anxious in the marker position.
Well, the touchy, I think he thinks it's a try too. He gave Robbie a little tap on the back, so probably well done.
Hello, Davis has no doubt. He planted the ball down and got straight to his feet and started celebrating.
Just watch the touchy here. Well done.
Okay. We're certainly taking their time. They're checking for absolutely everything here to make sure it is a try, and it shouldn't be too long.
It's a green light for Robbie Davis. Beckett, centimetres away. Still not a smile on the face.
Was it your bloke actually pushed then? That's what's come up on the video. And the grounding of the ball is all right. So, okay.
Laurie Daly.
Your bloke was you, Laurie Daly. One of your best, Loz.
I think once he sees that replay, then he'll be saying, well, it was me. Great ball by Andrew Johns to go out nice and wide. They play the numbers beautifully. Lenny Beckett just probably a little bit flat. He gets up and plays the ball quickly, and the man in question, Laurie Daly, he does the pushing, not the opposite way around as we've already seen Paul Harrigan.
Yeah, it was a great try. As I said before, Lenny Becker done really well there and set that try up with a quick play of the ball. And the Canberra Raiders, they're really feeling the heat. I'd say they haven't played too many games this year under the heat, and Andrew Johns been kicking pretty well today, lining up an important kick right on the sideline.
Well, they've stretched the lead to 10 points at the moment. This will take it to 2 converted tries. It'll be the number of points required by the Raiders, but it's waved away. So it stays a 10-point ball game, 20 points to 10, 3 tries to 2 now. Very vocal crowd here, a good crowd at Marathon getting behind the Knights. Butterfield.
It doesn't do that well, sorry, Greg Clark. Just goes forward all day long for them. And up comes Dave Fairley. Easy meters up the middle of the run.
He's been in tremendous form for Newcastle Knights. Every week he's a leading work rate and playing well. And here you go, Andrew John up the middle for a great little bust.
He had Robbie O looming up on the inside, but he just couldn't get the pass away. The tackle had to be made, ball and all, by Ferner, and it was a good one. Now it's Shields, and all of a sudden the Knights charge on. Final tackle coming up as Kennedy moves into dummy half and gives it to Matthew Johns. He's kicking for Jensen's wing again. Jensen takes it. Good fingertip control over there, only about 8 or 9 metres out from his own line. Swan.
Well, what about little Lenny Becker there? I tell you what, as far as the game goes so far, he'd be very close to man of the match. He's going for 3 tackles in a row now. A great kick chase, playing well, Lenny.
Yeah, making the most of his opportunities, and he got the opportunity when Gidley was ruled out. It meant that Tahu moved from the wing into the centres, and they had to promote one of the first division players. And it happened to be Beckett. Well, now it's Croker. Good defence by the Knights. Plenty of urgency in there. Wolford getting the kick away. And O'Davis, 30 metres out from his own line, makes it to the 40 before the chasers arrive. It was Laurie Daly. Kennedy. In back play. RBO giving Laurie Daly a bit of verbal. Steve Simpson.
Watch them go left-hand side.
Good call, Wiz.
Yeah.
Build everybody.
Watch them go left now. Somebody.
Please. Here they go, mate.
Peden. Fairley. 15 metres out, final tackle. Peden gives it to Andrew Johns. Johns runs to the line, nudges one over the top. Albert nudges it back on the inside. It's still there for Newcastle. It's still alive. No, Rudders put it down. It's into touch. They'll play the knock on. It'll be a handover. It's 20 points to 10. Newcastle over Canberra.
They'll just certainly try anything here today now once they've got their tails in front. The little banana kick once again. Look at this. Hangs up beautifully. Albert does a tremendous job. Taps the ball back to Mana Tahu. Once again pops it up for Rudder, come up with the drop ball. When I said they should have gone left, I think it was the right time to go because Canberra only had 2 defenders.
Vanicolo chased by Peden. 54% to Newcastle. Inside their own half, Canberra playing 51% of the time inside their own 50. This will give them an opportunity to get out of their own territory. The penalty.
Yeah, Steve Simpson will be disappointed with that. He has let the pressure off the Newcastle Knights, and a much-needed penalty and a bit of a spell for the Canberra Raiders.
Corvo. Good run. Up to halfway. Burnham, a dummy half, to Morgan. Mullins to Daly. The angle run. Back to Kallela. Kallela from a standing start. Pops it up, intercepted by Johns. Matthew Johns. Davis now.
You can just start to tell that Canberra starting to play a little bit of catch-up football, a few loose passes, just too much urgency there. Just got to settle down and stay with the completions. They can still get there.
And what we've seen so far from Canberra in this season is the fact that they really don't start throwing the ball around willy-nilly until they've got the game well and truly in the bag. As Beckett at a half break there to the 30. Andrew Johns. Johns taking them on. Johns got a great ball up to Simpson. He goes across. He's untouched. Bit of magic from the Newcastle Knights, number 7.
Oh, isn't it good to watch Andrew Johns just going to the line. He's just running at the right times. He saw that the Canberra side was starting to tire. They started to slide in defence. He gets nice and wide off the rucker. And what holds him up is those players there running with him. Simpson gets a great ball. He's played well, the big fella too, the second rower. You happy with that one?
Steve Simpson, I'll tell you a little about him. He's from the Hunter Valley, he's homegrown boy, and he's in the realms of Steve Means. He's very strong, very quick, and hit holes. You see Andrew Johns here, his groin's a crook. He can't take off 100 miles an hour, but he still managed to get through that defence line and set up this young guy who's got a big future, I said before. Kind of in the realms of Steve Meansy, very strong, very decisive when he's hitting the lines.
I can't help but think as Laurie Daly lays down the law to his teammates that all the talk seems to be about Brett Camorley, the Melbourne Storm halfback, as we look ahead to Origin time. I think that might have just been a little message by Andrew Johns out to the New South Wales selectors saying, don't forget about me, I've still got the number 7 on my back and I can still turn it on from time to time. He converts the try as well, the try that he set up. So it's 26 points to 10.
Johns, as you can see on the screen now, is without a doubt one of the best players in the world. Brett Camorley is a young junior from Lakeshore United, where I grew up, and he's a great talent and will be, you know, a great, or he already is a great footballer, one of the best halfbacks to play the game. But I think at the moment, Andrew Johns still recovering from injury. He's the man to beat.
Davis. That was a line ball. Almost overrunning it there, the Knights. Grief plays it. Now it's Parsons. He leaves it behind. Knock on both ways.
First one by Newcastle. Nah.
Well, Canberra really need to hit back now to stay in touch. Plenty of time left on the clock. We've still got 24 minutes remaining at a hot and steamy Marathon Stadium today.
See Matt Parsons there before when he dropped the ball. Had a look at his hands to give the gesture that the ball's getting really slippery now, so you have to pay extra attention to that slippery ball.
McLinden plays it back to McFadden. McFadden gives it across now to Brand, or in fact it's Morgan. Burnham. 10 metres out. Daly into first receiver. McFadden. Croker. Costin. He ran into a brick wall there. Ran into big Matt Parsons. Burnham. Daly again. Daly. Taken around the legs by Troy Fletcher. McFadden. He goes to the air. Not a bad kick. Who wants it? Oh,
real fun.
Beckett. Had 2 goes at it. Second time he managed to hold on.
I think Paul Eric was going to say how good is the kid going, and he is. He's going tremendous. It was a great catch. Here's the replay just quickly. Little halfback with Canberra puts the ball up there. Andrew McFadden, he goes up once, he gets it again. He's had a tremendous game.
He's plenty of pressure on it. In the 3 defender, he's doing well.
Right up as the coach looks on and fires out some instructions, Big Mel. Kennedy. And straight into McFadden. Underneath was Croker. 10 metres inside Canberra territory. Grief. Matthew Johns. Gives it plenty of air. Mullins takes it under some pressure.
Well, I've got to say, that was a great take, but as the referee was going back, he was getting in Mullins' road there. Would have made it very difficult for him to make that catch. It was a great catch for him to do that.
McLinden. McFadden into space. Atkins looming up on the inside. McFadden trying to get on the outside of O'Davis. Good tackle, O'Davis. Now it's Vainicolo. Back on the inside. They've left it behind. It's knocked back. Play on. McFadden, after that break, fires it out. Through the hands. Croker. They've coughed it up. Furler wants to get back out there. Albert with the intercept. And now Fletcher just settling things down as we have another look at it here.
That's what Canberra need to do if they want to get back in this game. Start using the ball just a little bit wider, have some inside runners.
That's grief. Canberra not out of it yet. We saw signs of that when McFadden was able to pick a huge gap. The support didn't arrive in time, though. He needed Mullins. And here's Mullins now, picking it up 10 out from his own line. Gives it to Jensen. Jensen taken 15 away from the line. Vernacolo into dummy half, and he'll take them on. Almost to the 30. They've scored 22 of their 56 points last week in the last 20. So they had plenty of petrol in their tank on Monday night. But have they zapped that petrol here today in the heat? We'll soon find out. Just under 20 remaining. Big defence there. And it forces a turnover. It's 3-on-2 out wide. Hughes turning it back on the inside. Beckett back to Matthew Johns. It's gone backwards. Johns cleans up. 30 metres out. Starts again. Taken by Wolford. Rudder. Shields. Taken by Atkins and also Ferner. Rudder. Rudder. Hughes. Oh. The pass was not a good one. If it was a good one, Beckett was in the corner. And he certainly deserves a try today.
Well, Rudder played this beautifully, nice long ball, and there was just nobody at home there for Lenny Beckett to go through. He was going to score the try if the pass had just probably been a fraction earlier. Those short side, that's what Canberra have to look after, because that's where Newcastle to go for the rest of the game, with under 20 minutes to go.
McFadden gives it to McLinden. Taken by O'Davis. Costin. Bounced out of a couple, made it to the 20. Morgan. Canberra have given Laurie Daly a breather on the bench. So it's the Supermax running the show out there, McFadden and McLinden. McLinden now at dummy half. Running to the line. Makes it inside Newcastle territory. And Wolford gets a kick in from dummy half over the head of Robbie O'Davis. And he needs it to sit up. He needs it to sit up. And Davis elects to pick it up and return the football.
Very good run there by Robbie O'Davis. Hit the maker in about 20 metres. Another good dart out of the dummy half area again. It's Troy Fletcher.
Parsons. Rudder. Kennedy.
The Knights probably just a little bit shallow now as they go forward. Getting a little bit tired. Slow play the ball here too.
Shields. One of the tallest players in the NRL, Peter Shields. Charge down.
Offside. In front of the guy who charged it down.
Penalty will go to Newcastle. First 5 rounds, they had a very good completion rate, but they're down on that one. In fact, I think it was about the best completion rate in all the competition after 5 rounds. But they've come unstuck today. Only about 3 completed sets out of 8 prior to half-time by the Raiders. That allowed the Knights to go in with a lead of 6, but now they lead by 26 points to 10. Johns turning it back to Kennedy. Kennedy against his old teammates. 8 metres out. Rudder at dummy half. O'Davis. No, they miss him out. They go to Andrew Johns. He goes to Peter Shields. Shields only a couple of metres out. Looking for a quick play the ball. Butterfield. Tony Butterfield. Held up by 4 Canberra defenders. Shields. Final tackle. Andrew Johns, a little grubber kick for Rudder. Mullins getting back there, and he needs to handball it over the dead ball line. Mullins didn't panic, but I tell you what, he really didn't have much time.
I'll tell you what, he looked like he was just coasting, was he? Andrew Johns going to line, saw there was no one at home. They play Mullins up in the line. He gets in just in the nick of time.
I'll tell you another thing with this interchange rule. You just see it's a great little kick here, but Tony Butterfield and Dave Fairley just went onto the field, and you can just tell the intensity of two fresh players coming onto the field. Canberra are really tired. Their hit-ups that they made with a quick play of the balls really set this set of 6 up in Newcastle, and they got the ball back again.
Peden makes it to the 30 before the chasers arrive. Anthony Swan and McLinden. Butterfield. Johns. That's Matthew Johns taking them on. 15 out from the line. Rudder. Shields. The big man fires it over the top to Albert. Albert for the corner. Did he get it down before he took the corner post? We'll go to the video referee again. It could be try number 7 for the season for the flying Darren Albert.
And the corner post, Wardy.
The second for today. Oh, yeah. Well, he knows where the corner post is. He's a master of dotting it down just in the nick of time, and this time, no problem.
Well, didn't he show some pace right from the word go when he got the ball over the top? I think it's a try there, and the post goes afterwards. Jensen was the man making the tackle, but did he take him on the outside? It clearly shows. But trying to see if he actually let the ball go before it hit the ground.
Yeah, well, the problem is not with
the question is he didn't ask for that, though, did he? He only asked for the corner post.
No, he actually asked to see if it was put down, plus the corner post at the same time.
I think there's downward pressure on that, only just.
Yeah. His hand's still on it. I'd say that's going to be a try.
If they get the green light, they've gone a long way to winning this match, even though there is time on the clock. It's going to take something special from Canberra, though, to hit back.
Well, the way things are looking, looks like they might get the green light for Newcastle, but what a miraculous pass from Peter Shields. He used to play a bit of basketball in his day. There's a try for the Newcastle Knights. As I was saying, a great pass here from Peter Shields. The cheer girls go up over the top. Darren Albert, he's that quick. He probably had no right to take the winger on the outside and tiptoe down the try line, but he's without a doubt the fastest guy in the rugby league and finds a great try.
2 today, 7 for the season, and it's 5 tries to 2. Newcastle over Canberra. Plenty of breathing space now. They lead by 30 points to 10, the Knights. They have this very good record here at Marathon. Going into this match, it was just 1 loss out of their last 10 matches here. Well on the way to adding an extra scalp to their credit. Johns, not a bad kick. Will it come around for him? No. Just away to the right of the upright. So 20 points of difference. 16 to 10 at the break, and now 30 points to 10. 3 tries in the second half. Canberra scoreless in the second half. Albert, too much pace. Got there in the nick of time.
As you just see again, there he goes his pass from Peter Shields over the top there to Darren Albert. Most guys would have propped there and tried to go down low. Darren Albert backed his speed in and put the ball down to give the Newcastle Knights a pretty good lead of 20 points.
It's good to see Peter Shields playing some good football as well, Paul. He's been, well, travelled in recent years, had a stint at the Perth Reds.
He went from here. He jumped from inside the 10, touched the air ball, so that's where
Peter Shields, great with the offloads and playing well this year, and today with the Newcastle Knights.
Well, here's another quick tap here from Newcastle. They go wide. Billy Peden. Short kick-off try there by Canberra, just didn't work.
Johns and now Fairley. Fairly up the back door to Matthew Johns, to Butterfield. Butterfield, dummy, straightens up, takes him on. Palella's there to wrap him up, ball and all. A good field position again by the Newcastle Knights. They're 22 metres out. Fairly playing well is Big David. Peden from dummy half. Peden picked up and dumped.
Burnham was the man who made that tackle. I mean, Wolford, sorry.
Now it's Johns, and they go wide again. Picked up by Albert. Albert for the corner. Is that a hat-trick?
Boy, there he is again, brother. Let's check that. See, that was a forward pass.
It could be a hat-trick to the flying Darren Albert.
Just a replay.
Checking to see if the pass was forward.
Well, Chris Ward, the video referee, has had plenty to do here today, hasn't he? He's come up with all the right decisions.
He's got the boss in the box alongside him as well, Peter Louis.
There's plenty of pressure on him. And you hear the referee then once again saying, listen, we've got to use you once again. One, he's looking at the pass to see if it's forward. I think that's all right. And does he get it down?
I think it's okay.
I think it's okay.
And for the corner he goes. He plants it down, no problem with it. This time, though, the Knights are not retreating back to their side of halfway. Well, now they are. They're convinced now, I think.
As you can just see there, the Canberra defence line is so compressed. It's on there every time for the Newcastle Knights, and that ball just bounces up from Darren Albert. And again, there's a real art to finishing tries off and getting down low and using your pace. And Darren Albert, as I said before, is one of the best in the game. And if he scored again, well, he's way in front of the try scoring so far. Great athlete.
I think what the referee's worried about here, or the video referee, is that where he's throwing the pass there, and when it is caught by Tamana Tahu, when the ball bounces up, how far forward is Albert when he takes the ball forward?
Or did the ball go forward when it bounced?
That's what he's really looking for. But if it's come off Tamana Tahu and actually propel forward, it'll be called back. Just checking. Just got a bit of a smile on his face. All the walk hasn't.
I'll tell you what, the boys will be enjoying the rest, though, because it's getting hotter as time goes on.
Fair try. A hat-trick to Darren Albert. And surely now another 2 points to the Newcastle Knights that will take them into the top 8 on the NRL ladder. 34 points to 10.
I've got to say that it's probably only twice this year that Canberra has really been tested, and it's been both the away games of the West Tigers who got up, and unfortunately for Canberra, the road doesn't get any easier. They've got the Broncos away next week, and certainly another great test for them. They'll be a little bit disappointed here today with the score the way it's getting away now. It's 34 points to 10 with a kick to come from Andrew Johns on the sideline.
Yeah, it's very important as we look at Johns trying to add the extra 2. Very important for Canberra not to let this be a real blowout. It's away in front of the uprights. Andrew can't add the extras from out wide, but the scoreline looking very healthy. 34 points to 10. 69. Ferner kicking off. He's done plenty of that in the second half. It's 4 tries to none in the second half to Newcastle. Ben Kennedy, he'll be enjoying this. A win over his former teammates. Fairly got it out to one of the try scorers, Simpson. He was wrapped up ball and all. Butterfield still full of running, as you would expect. Johns, Matthew back on the inside. Kennedy up towards halfway. Strong running. Andrew Johns. Tahu. Albert did well to keep it in the field of play. Andrew Johns goes high. They allow it to bounce. It's there for Simpson. Is it picked up by Vayner-Colo in the end?
Knocked on.
Knocked on, though, by Canberra.
Once again, a great kicking. Sailors knocked on there. Dave Fairley would have been glad if the referee had said play on. You were going to score underneath the black dot.
And they've got to put in the Knights. They work it to the left. Robbie O'Davis. O'Davis. Oh, great pick up, Lenny Beckett. He's having a good match over on the left wing. All the try scoring's been done by the right wing and Darren Albert. But let me tell you, Beckett has not been disgraced out there on the left wing. Now they work it to the right. The angle run coming in from Fletcher. And they put it down.
First one by Newcastle, then by Canberra. First one by the Knights.
Well, I guess if you're leading by 24 points, you can afford to chance your arm a little bit, and I've seen a couple of sloppy plays from Newcastle in the last couple of sets.
Yeah, that was Troy Fletcher there. He'll be a little bit disappointed with that, just trying to get that ball away. Something Newcastle's got to watch there. Sometimes they get in a position a little bit too confident and chance their hand a bit too much.
Canberra. At this stage, they're looking for a consolation try. Outplayed, outgunned in the second half. Corvo.
I just think with Canberra being down by such a big scoreline now, 24 points, they've really got a chance their arm and use the ball a little bit wider.
This Newcastle defence in the heat doesn't look like dropping off, does it? Now it's Swan. He's put it down. Picked up. Beckett. The Knights ready to charge again. Butterfield still running strong. Into Daly. "20 metres out from the line." Matthew Johns. Knockdown. Play on. The tackle count restarts. But it's one-on-one. And Morgan did well to steal that one for Canberra. So they let off the hook. And Mullins plays it 18 metres out. Corvo. Good defence by Newcastle. They're not letting up.
No, they're not, but this is where Laurie Daly needs to take charge and get him, inject himself into the game. We all know it's hot. He needs players around him, get him running to the line, put some pressure on the Newcastle defenders.
McFadden back to Daly. Daly.
That's what we'd like to see.
Croker, Corvo, and now Furner. Furner, he knocks on. Rudder. Tahu. Tahu knocks on. It's tied, and it's slippery out there.
Newcastle, then by Canberra. First by Newcastle.
I think Paul Harrigan pointed out it's very, very hot out there, and some of the big blokes starting to struggle, along with out in the centres at the same time. Anthony Brand there just sucking in the big ones, along with Corvo. And I know they're very hot out there, so are we in the commentary box at the same time.
Probably a kill for an air conditioner now. Swan, 30 metres out from the line. That's the 40-metre mark as Brand plays it. Dana Colo. Furner, the inside pass, 10 metres inside Knights territory. Swan. Final tackle coming up here. Walford, first receiver, gives it to McFadden. They're running it. Daly, through the hands they go. Croker. McFadden drops it onto the left foot. It bounces into touch 12 metres out from the Newcastle line.
Yeah, once again, like I said, 24 points behind. They've really got a chance their arm and use the ball as much as possible. Situation there, they needed another runner in the inside of him to carry it on.
Andrew Johns will feed the scrum.
Keep some room, Knights, let him in. Keep him in, keep it bound, tight. Right.
Johns, and they go wide to Beckett straight away. Beckett looking to try and get on the outside of Vaynerchuk. Parsons. Still going. Good strong run. Eventually put to ground by Daly. Grief. Simpson. Billy Peden. Davis to Matty Johns, kicking, chasing Johns, regathering, Hughes, oh Davis, try time again for Newcastle. Brilliant stuff. The chip, the chase, and eventually the try.
Wasn't that just magnificent stuff? They knew that Mullins was very, very deep. He's nearly on his own try line. They'll spread out either side. Andrew on the right-hand side. There's Big Mal now looking very dejected at his team's performance here today. I'll tell you what, some of his players have tried very, very hard. Matthew Johns, he knew he was going to get the ball. He's on the left-hand side, saw that they were short, put the little chip over. They got the good bounce. Mullins tried to get hold of it. Hughes, what about the pass from Hughes? Tremendous work there. Robbie O, number 2. Atkins gave great chase too, the big front row for the Canberra side.
Well, they're dejected now, Canberra. Monday night, a record score against the Auckland Warriors at Bruce Stadium. On the end of a bit of a hiding here today as Andrew Johns adds the extra 2 to take the Knights to the 40s. It's 40 points to 10. Another look here. Well read by Matty Johns. Big night on Monday night for Brett Mullins, scoring his 100th career try. But it hasn't gone his way today. And at the other end, his opposite number, Robbie Davis, on hand to score the try.
The thing about the Canberra players, you can see that they put a lot of effort into trying to stop that try being scored. And then when you do get the ball after putting so much effort into defence, you just can't get there.
78th minute, 40 points to 10. At half-time, it was 16 to 10. 5 tries to none in the second half by the Knights, and they're still full of running. Robbie Davis, a double today. Albert, a hat-trick. Davis will play it in front of his uprights. 11 metres out, but he lost it.
He lost it. You didn't. Oh, wait. You lost control of that ball.
Well, Canberra really need a consolation try here. Something to take away from this match as they look ahead to taking on Brisbane at ANZ Stadium. That is their next encounter. That's next Friday night. The Knights, they're away next Sunday playing Penrith at Penrith Stadium. Over the top, Jensen. And can he stay in the field of play? No, he can't. He's into touch. Well, the last time, Gary, that the Knights beat the Raiders was here in 1993. So it's been a long time between drinks.
It has, but it's been a great performance, hasn't it, from the Newcastle Knights in defence and in attack.
In 1993, it was 28 to 14. So today's win is the Knights' biggest ever win over Canberra.
I know there's only 1 minute 20-odd seconds to go, but let me tell you this, I don't think they're finished.
Beckett, plenty of spring in his step.
Doesn't he deserve a try?
Parsons. Simpson. No Badiris today. No Adam McDougall for the Knights. So they've given a few players an opportunity, namely Beckett and also Simpson, Rudder. They've all stood up. So they've got some depth, the Knights. Hughes to Davis. Well picked up by Andrew Johns. Got it to Glenn Grief. Trying to step Mullins, can't do it. Looking for a quick play the ball. Andrew Johns scoops it up with the left hand. Johns into the in goal. It's still lying loose, and McFadden will get back there and knock it over the dead ball line. Exciting passage of play, the dying seconds of the match. Oh, deserved a try. The pickup from Andrew Johns was sensational.
Oh, what's too, but the backup by Glenn Grief was tremendous there. Andrew Johns on the bottom of his feet. There is the pickup once again. This is at the end of it. He puts a little kick. I thought he's going to drop the little short pass once again to Billy Peden or Glenn Grief, who made an excellent effort to try and get there. But what a tremendous game of footy. Plenty of attack and great defensive from the Newcastle Knights at the same time.
So at half-time it was 16 points to 10, but full-time a big win to the Newcastle Knights at home at Marathon Stadium. 40 points to 10 over Canberra. 5 tries to none in the second half by the Knights. In the end, it was 7 tries to 2. Laurie Daly never stopped trying for the Raiders, as you would expect from Laurie Daly, but they were outgunned today. Great performance by the Knights. They were disappointed they didn't come away with a win against Brisbane last week. But it gave them a bit of confidence, some of the positives that they took out of that match, and they've gone on with the job here today. Canberra played on Monday night, ran in plenty of points, but they couldn't back it up here today. Now they look ahead to Brisbane next week. That's going to be even tougher. The Knights now find themselves in the top 8 of the NRL. And I don't think too many sides will be looking forward to making a trip to Marathon.
No, I don't think so. And I'd say that one of the other sides, it won't look like to come down here is the Brisbane Broncos, because I think they'll get the reception that the Newcastle players got up there when they went there. I think that's going to be a tremendous game further down the track. But in today's performance, the man on screen, Laurie Daly, tried his best along with quite a few of the other Canberra players. Inferno, Anthony Brand, Wolford, thought it was probably one of their best around that ruck area. But the Newcastle side ran up very good victors here today in a tremendous game of footy. Hard-fought right down the middle too. Albert, once again, one of the best, along with Lenny Beckett.
Okay, well, that was a fantastic win by the Newcastle Knights. And let's get some reaction now. Let's go to the sideline. And Paul Harrigan will get some reaction from, well, he's a former captain and he's with the current captain.
Sure, I've got Tony Butterfield with me. Tony, firstly, tell me about the conditions. How hot was it?
Mate, it was quite oppressive out there. The humidity was right up there and it was hot and pretty stinky in them scrums.
What about Lenny Beckett? He's come into first grade. I think the last time he got a big start like this was last year at the stadium, 110,000 people. He's really made the most of his game today.
Yeah, mate, he's an example of a young bloke who got a sniff last year, a couple of sniffs early in the season, has really put his head down, and it's a credit to him. And all the players supported him, the coaching staff has really got behind him, and I thought he had a great game today, and he'll be pressing for first grade berth for the rest of the season.
Yes, did you had a great game today. At half-time, I think it was about 16-10. Do you think he'd get away with the game at that stage?
Oh, mate, we're always confident up here at home, but the point was made that sometimes you can come here and just expect a victory, and we said to the boys we needed to dig probably another 5-10%. Work on the ground a little better because they had it all over us, and things started to work for us. We're reasonably pleased. Our concentration held up to the end. It was a good day.
Well done, Tone. Thanks very much. Penrith next week. All the best.
Thanks, Stephen.
Thank you. We've got Andrew Johns here. Joey, congratulations. Now, tell us about your groin. It's been giving you trouble at training. You haven't been able to stretch out. But today, you've scored, you've set up a couple of tries. You've been darting out. How's the groin going?
Yeah, it's best it's been. Thursday was a training, was the first time I sprinted. So not only just the the peace of mind knowing that I can sprint and not going to tear. So now probably my season starts from now, from today. So first time I've been able to take the line on. So looking forward to next week. Yeah, personally, I think it's been a fantastic effort to play with the groin and play the style of football you've been playing. Now, were you surprised that every time towards the end there, with Canberra's defence so compressed, you got money pretty every time you spread the ball? Yeah, every time you went wide, there was plenty of room there, and I think we probably dominated that much ball in the second half. They were fatigued on the inside of the ball, and to the outside credit's back, they took advantage and put some points on. I wish they'd score them under the post. You're not wrong. He's made it hard for the kicks. We gave Lenny Beckett a few raps, but Darren Albert, he knows how to find the try line. He's a leading scorer. I think he's got 7 tries this year, playing well, isn't he? Oh, mate, he's the quickest player in the comp, and he's great to have out in the wing there. Whenever there's half a chance, he can score them. So, we're waiting for Adam and Gids to come back, but this year we've got great depth of blokes like Lenny Beckett. I thought he was one of our best today. Well, thanks, Joey. Congratulations. Great game. Well, that's it for me, boys. Newcastle Knights got a victory, and the Canberra Raiders have got a hard game next week against the Brisbane Broncos. And I think the Knights have got Penrith, so good luck.
Yes, my thanks to Paul Harrigan. Well done, Chief. You got your team home again. And the fans will be pretty happy as well here at Marathon. Full time, Newcastle 40, Canberra 10.